Major League Baseball's new torpedo bats. Innovation or illegal? Let's talk about it. So Major League Baseball has been in an uproar in its first week, talking about the New York Yankees and half their lineup using the new torpedo bats. It came to a head when they bashed a franchise record tying 9 home runs in a 20-9 victory over the Milwaukee Brewers, with Brewers pitcher Trevor McGill saying, "What are we doing? These look like softball bats." But it's the Yankees, so Major League Baseball will let it slide. Many people believe that these bats are illegal and the Yankees should be in trouble for them. But Major League Baseball has come out and said, we have approved these bats. Everything has to be approved by the league before it can be used on the field. And Major League Baseball has reiterated that they approved these bats. These bats were developed by former MIT physicist Aaron Leonhardt, who aimed to optimize the bat's mass distribution by shifting more wood toward the area where hitters are most likely to make contact. The design enhances the sweet spot. So they're not adding more wood to the bat. They're actually just moving the distribution up. And I can see both sides of this, right? You have one side where Major League Baseball approved them. We're not adding anything to this bat. We're not doing anything like that, but I can also see where McGill and many fans and many other players are coming from, where they say, you know what, these bats are specifically designed, only the Yankees are using them. What is this? What's going on? First of all, the Yankees are not the only team that's been using them, and they've been around sporadically throughout the league for a couple of years. There are several other teams, including the Dodgers and the Braves, that have already put in orders for these bats. So soon enough, more teams will have them and will know about it. But like I said, this is not a first in the league, but it got me to thinking. And I did put up a blog post about this topic as well, so go check that out on EmpireSportsTalk.com. But it got me thinking, if Major League Baseball has approved this, because they've done many things in the past to not allow certain things that would cause certain advantages, like substances or scuffing the ball, or most notably, steroids. Obviously, it seems like Major League Baseball and fans' reaction to steroids is becoming a little bit looser. Although I don't agree with that. It seems like people are a lot more forgiving of players like Barry Bonds for his admitted use of steroids in the past. But that's something that's happening that I don't necessarily agree with. But anyway, it got me to thinking, what is the difference between this? If it's not adding anything to the bat, it's just redesigning it with the wood that's already there. What's the difference between this and some of the other innovations that we've seen recently in Major League Baseball? So the first thing that came to mind was the axe handle bat. Obviously, that was a big change for the natural design of a baseball bat, for what we're used to in the game. It just provided a smoother grip for some, a better grip for others, and the league didn't seem to have a problem with that. Players seemed to readily accept that, even though that was a change to the existing design of the bat without adding anything. The other thing, and the most untalked about one on this list, is types of bats. The only regulation that Major League Baseball has on players' bats are that they must be smooth, round, made of solid wood, and not exceeding 2.61 inches in diameter and 42 inches in length. Those are the only stipulations, only regulations on a Major League Baseball player's bat. So, naturally, that is why these torpedo bats have been approved. They don't exceed that diameter. They're not adding length to a bat. It's fully within the rules of Major League Baseball. Maybe we'll see those rules change because some people are not happy with these bats, but if these bats start being adopted league-wide, I'm sure it'll be fine. Even as a baseball purist, I don't have a problem with these bats at all. I think it makes sense. You have these pieces of wood, which, as Jazz Chisholm described, most of that wood is not used to hit the baseball. So why not just move some of that wood to the part where you need it? So I fully understand it. I don't have a problem with these bats other than the fact that they look kind of funky, but you only really notice when you see them up close. But the most obvious one here, which nobody talks about, but obviously there are variations everywhere, is the wood that you use for the bats. Players all over the league have their own bats that they use because of how they like it. Different models, different brands, whether it's Louisville Slugger or Rawlings or Max Bat or whatever it is. Every player uses their own bat. There's no team in Major League Baseball or Major League Baseball themselves says you must use 40-inch Louisville Slugger bats in black. It's not a college program. College programs do that with shoes. Basketball does it with shoes. Baseball does it with equipment. But this is not a college program. There are baseball players at the highest level who have been finding what works for them for their whole lives. And so you look at the different bats players have. Some are made of maple, some are made of ash, some are made of birch. I believe most, if not all, of these torpedo bats are made of birch. And Major League Baseball has no problem with those differences. The maple bat is generally, it's a denser wood and it's harder. There's less flexibility, it's more rigid, it provides a more direct reaction. Maple is denser, harder, so it's a more unforgiving swing. You'd assume that it would provide a little more power. An ash bat, on the other hand, is lighter and more flexible, more shock resistant, which can be better for players in colder weather. And if you're a smaller player, a lighter bat with more flexibility might make more sense because you're focusing more on base hits than you are on power. Speaking of power, the other thing that I thought about was that cupped versus uncupped bats. And if you've never heard that term before, a cupped bat is when the top of the bat is hollowed out. I think there are more cupped bats than uncupped in the league these days, but you just use the eye test. If it's got a rounded top, it's uncupped. If it doesn't have a rounded top, it's cupped. Players use it based on their preference. And the cupped bat was introduced in the 1970s by Johnny Bench because he wanted a more balanced swing. The difference is that cupped bats reduce weight and improve balance, potentially leading to faster swings and better control. The uncupped bat is heavier, more end-loaded, and it's better if you're a power hitter. So these have not been regulated. The types of wood, players can use any type of wood within reason that they want to. Players can have cupped or uncupped bats. Cupped bats were not introduced to the 70s. The league had no problem with that. So this torpedo bat to me is just the next step. It's within regulation. It gives you a bigger sweet spot without a major change to the design, which all of these things that I've mentioned, the axe handle gives you a better grip. Maple gives you a harder wood. Ash gives you more flexibility, lighter for more base hits as opposed to power. A cupped bat is a more balanced swing. An uncupped bat is better for power. These are all things that have come into the game that give advantages or lean into preferences of a specific player. Baseball is a very player-specific sport. And so I personally don't have a problem with these torpedo bats. But let me know in the comments what you think about the torpedo bats. Do you think that they're a cool innovation that we'll start seeing every player in the league use? Do you think they're illegal? Again, I don't know if it'll be 100% adoption because we've heard players like Aaron Judge, when his team was bashing home runs in the 20-9 game, he was using the same bat he's always used. And when they asked him why he doesn't use the torpedo bat, he said, I don't need to. The guy's won multiple MVPs. Why fix it if it's not broken? So it's a matter of preference for some of these players. Anthony Volpe has said it's given him more confidence at the plate. Maybe that's more to do with his early home run success than the torpedo bat. We don't know. But it seems to be just a matter of preference, like many of these other innovations in the last 50 or 60 years. Again, let us know in the comments what you think about the new torpedo bat. Illegal and should be banned, or innovation that will soon be widely adopted. Until next time, this is Empire Sports Talk.